Welcome again, everyone, to this fabulous episode of Three. You know, it's interesting because every now and then I'll watch that open to our program, and my whole body will go goosebumps. And it was that kind of morning for me when I was watching our intro, which is very cool. Hey, I'm here with Tammie Roitman. She's a clinical intuitive hypnotherapist, and Kris Gray is our master astrologer. And we're actually here to give you three perspectives on your one question. And so we have a guest today, but how do you be on three? How do you get to be on our program? Well, you go to WWDBTV and you click through and you watch a program and you go, I need to be on the program. And then you go to www.THREE.Vegas, not .com, .Vegas, and you'll see the whole overview of not only the experience of Tammie and Kris and myself. And by the way, you can contact any of us for a private reading if you'd like. But you can also see a page that says how to be on three. Well, you click on that, you fill out the little form, it comes to us, and then we reach out to you and say, okay, this is when we're filming next. We'd love to have you be a guest on three. So tell all your friends, share the program. Social media, we're on X with the THREE.Vegas. We're on Instagram with Three, so you can find us pretty easily. We're also on a couple of other things, but that'll be on the Three.Vegas website. So just find that out. So we have an amazing guest with us today, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Judy Mario. I'm an author, an artist, and an art teacher. And very often I get asked the question, how do I make money with my art? Well, I've answered that in the book that I've written called How to Turn Your Art into Cash, Branding and Marketing Your Creative Product. I've also covered things like how do you license your art? How do you exhibit in galleries and at art shows? And how can you make money online? Do you know there's over 200 websites where you can sell your art online? So grab a copy of the book today, How to Turn Your Art into Cash. You can find it on Amazon.com or on JudyMario.com.
Welcome back. So we're here with Michelle. Hey, Michelle, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you. So great to be here with you all.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Now, the way the program works is you think of a specific question or a subject that you would like clarity, and then you decide. You actually ask the question, and then you decide which one of us you'd like to have address the question first. Then, after that person's done, because she's going to have 5 to 8 minutes with you explaining what she's seeing, then you choose the next person that you'd like to have do the reading. And then by default, whoever is left over, you'll save the best for last, whoever that is. So what is your question today?
Okay, my question is, I've been in entertainment and a singer my whole life, as long as I can remember. And I, always had this dream on my heart of really doing something big with it. And I have done some amazing things. I put a record out in Europe in the 90s, and I'm a songwriter. And what's coming up, I feel like I'm two people. I'm a realtor and I'm a singer. And real estate takes a lot of energy and time. And I feel like I've been kind of putting my singing and songwriting on the back burner. And sometimes the voice in my head says I'm too old to, to do something real and serious and legitimate in the entertainment world. And songwriting is what's coming up for me, where I need to be focusing my attention. And I guess that's my question. I feel like if I could just focus on one thing, I could make something big happen. But
Right.
I'm like a hamster on a wheel doing both. And I love both. I'm very service oriented. I'm a terrible question asker.
Okay. So you basically want to concentrate on your career, right?
Songwriting.
What's coming up connected with your career? Okay. So who would you like to have address your question first?
I think I'll go with you.
Oh, okay. It's so funny because most people choose Tammie or Kris.
Oh, really?
So I always feel kind of good when you choose me first.
Yeah.
It's all equal here, okay? Because
Right.
everything that okay. So when a card is just did what this card just did when I was
Okay.
splitting the deck. I'm going to leave this card out. That's the card of karma rewarding you. It's a card called Breakthrough. So in traditional tarot, this card's called Justice, but in my deck, it's called Breakthrough. So it feels that you're working really, 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 really hard, and you don't think that there's progress being made. But according to this, you're making way more progress than you think. And so as soon as you actually decide to spend untapped, undivided attention toward something. It doesn't matter whether it's real estate and you become a multi-million-dollar lister, right? And entertainment. It might be that you go back and forth with a day for this, a day for that, a day for this, a day for that. But this is saying karma is trying to reward you, or that card wouldn't have flipped over on its own. So I'm going to set that over here, because you need to know that you're going into a very, very lucky phase right now where karma, all the work that you've done is trying to reward you. All right, so I'm laying out my whole deck and I'm drawing your 5 cards. So these 5 cards are going to illustrate your question, and I'm concentrating on your career, and I'm going to avoid the word should while I'm talking to you, because it's not about what you should or shouldn't do. It's about you living your truth. Now, what is super, super amazing about your cards, and this card does not come up very often, is this card called the Master. It is the card of you being directly connected to spirit. It's a card of when you were a little girl, and I'm going to use this word, you believed in magic. So you believed that if you put your mind in a very strong focus long enough, then things would happen for you. Now, I have to tell you, while I was concentrating on you, the door to the studio just opened and closed all by itself while I was concentrating on you. So whenever I look at when something like that happens, it makes me want to say to you, there's a door already open for you, and it's time to grab the, as I've said before, low-hanging fruit of the people or the things that will be automatically there to help you. When you were describing your career and the fact that you have an album and that you want to concentrate more on the songwriting and the lyrics of what you do, I hope that there's someone around you that can write music, because the words are coming to you very easily. So when I get low hanging fruit, the very first thing I'm thinking about is somebody that already writes music, and that you do the lyrics to connect with the music. But this card called the Master is an extra card of my tarot deck. I use the Osho Zen tarot deck. This card literally means that you have the force of spirit ready to work for you right now, that you don't have to fight it. You just have to allow it to flow through you. And whenever I see this card, I like to remind people that you were born into this lifetime specifically to do what you want to do in this lifetime, that you were given those skills to do those things. And basically, it's about you finding a way to magnify those skills. Well, it's interesting because the next card is the highest spiritual card a woman can get in a reading. And in traditional tarot, this card's called the High Priestess. So not only do you have the most powerful spiritual card here, that is the power that's ready to work for you, but you have the highest spiritual card a woman can get in a reading. And it is all about your feminine approach to things. So when you started talking about songwriting, when you started talking about performing, the real estate part, you can do that kind of with your eyes closed. And all I want you to do is just keep opening yourself to the idea that the right listings are going to come to you. But while you're waiting for the right listings to come to you, because this is a receptivity vibration I'm getting, while you're waiting for that to come to you, you start doing songwriting or lyric writing or jingle writing. So the jingle writing is what jumped into my head when you started talking and describing your career, and the fact that you are a successful real estate agent, but you're also an incredibly talented singer. And unlike some of the other singers who have lost their voice along the way because of their age, that doesn't include you. Your voice is as powerful, as beautiful as it ever was. And so what I'm wondering is that I wonder if you could actually create little lyrics for local businesses, little songs, little tunes, little jingles that you send off to the owners of those businesses. For example, let's say you did the adventure of staying at Circa downtown, and you did a whole little 30-second jingle or 45-second jingle or melody that went along with that, and you made it catchy. So anyone that walks through a casino will hear, as they're walking through the casino, Buffalo, right? Because it's one of the most popular machines. Well, the tunes on the machines are designed to stick in your head, right? When you get a win, they're designed to stick in your head. So I'm almost wondering if you start going into a slightly different direction where you write jingles for, and I'm getting these downtown hotels. I'm getting Circa. I'm getting the Plaza. I'm getting the Four Queens. I'm getting I think Gold Nugget's still down there. So I haven't been downtown in a while. But you start writing these little jingles. They're all different, and you send them to the marketing person at each of the properties, right? Oh, and by the way, would love to meet with your entertainment director in case you'd like to bring back the classic lounge shows, because you'd be amazing at that. Because again, you've managed to keep yourself in tune, pardon the pun, with local, or sorry, the more popular tunes that are in your range. You see what I mean? So you can sing a lot of songs from Pink, for example. You can sing, some Whitney Houston. You can sing some Roberta Flack. Do you see what I mean? It's like the things that you can do. And basically what I'm getting is that you're going to start doing something where you put your name back in the spotlight again, because this card called Breakthrough literally means the universe is trying to give you what you want in a big way. So this last year, which has been particularly hard for you, this last year has been a lot of stops and starts, a lot of people promising you things and then not coming through with their word to you. That is not your imagination. That's exactly what's happened. But that's about to break through into something much different, because if you targeted those 4 hotels, the Four Queens, the Plaza, Circa, Golden Nugget, and you wrote a jingle for them that was about 30 to 40 seconds with the person that can write music, and you send it to the owners or the vice president of marketing, say, you have my permission to use this jingle. And then people are going to go, who's that voice? Right? So there is this marvelous adventure about to happen for you. The power number that's coming up for you is the number 11 and the number 2. So the High Priestess card resonates to the number 2. The Breakthrough card resonates to the number 11. In numerology, if you add 1 and 1 together, it's 2. So you need a partner to help you. And that's why I keep going with the idea of somebody that writes music for you. And then you write the lyrics and you make this super fun. And by the way, here at WWDBTV, if you wanted to come down and actually bring your musician with their keyboard and you and record it, you can put any background you want behind you, because John makes that happen. So, John Styles, WWDBTV, you could actually get this all done for a very, very modest investment. But now you put your name out there. The other thing I'm getting is maybe you make a jingle for some of the news stations, right? And you just send it to them, like, ABC, Fox 5, you send it to them and you just say, you have my permission to use this, right? So does that all make sense to you?
Yeah, it's funny because I've been thinking about writing a jingle for my real estate business too. It just kind of came to me about a week ago. I never thought about doing that before and put it on my website. So yeah, I'm open. I'm definitely open to
Okay.
it.
Michelle, you've got this. You have very, very powerful cards. Okay. Who would you like to have address your question next?
Who wants to go next? Does anybody ever ask you that? Is that somebody feeling it? Yeah.
They're both ready to jump in.
Yeah.
So since Kris raised her hand first, I'm gonna have Kris go in
Okay,
next. We'll
Kris.
save the best for last.
I'm really excited to do your chart. You have a beautiful chart. It's very powerful. I'm not surprised the Master card came up. Also the Breakthrough card. I can't wait. You have an amazing chart. So Sun Virgo, Libra rising. Are you aware that you're a Libra rising?
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't positive, but I just kind of always felt that.
Okay, yes. So you resonate very closely with Libra, and then also if you were to read like a forecast or a horoscope for Libra, it's going to align very, very nicely with what you're experiencing. So you have so many very powerful placements in your chart. So I'm just going to start in your first house of self, and this is who you are. It directs your entire chart, which means um, it talks about who you are and the experiences that you experience in this lifetime. So you're ruled by Venus, which Venus is the planet of love and beauty. So you are the ultimate politician. Like, you can work any room. You know how to work a political environment. You know how to make friends. You have this really, really beautiful, soft, yet strong presence about you that people really, really just gravitate to. And you're also, so you're ruled by Venus, but your Venus placement is also in Venus in Libra. So that lends, when I say that, like, you can work any room and relationships and stuff, I mean, this is you. Like, I'm going to double down on that because this is very, very much you. You also have Mercury, your planet of communication, in your first house. So highly intelligent, very witty. People know this about you immediately. When they speak to you, they know that you are just top of your game, very intelligent. They know that you get it. And that's a really great placement to have. There's very bright, and people really notice that about you. You have this other thing, this other placement that's really important, and it's your sun placement, and where it falls in your chart. You have this ability to, it's actually the gift of clairvoyance, but it's so much like you're able to see the things that are hidden, things that aren't obvious to other people. You see them very, very clearly. So in business, this is a very wonderful gift because you're able to kind of get down to the nuts and bolts of things and see things miles ahead of everyone else. And it's very much like kind of having a knowing, and then if you follow that hunch, you could uncover a lot of stuff. You have a couple other placements too that rule your house of friendships, dreams, associations, groups, and it talks about you having this very powerful influence that anything you set your mind to, you're able to transform groups, associations, people. You're very impactful with your friends and people who you come in contact with. And it's not anything that you you have to do specifically. It's just you being you and who you are. And then there's two other placements. So I'm going to touch on the one in real estate. You do have the placement that is says that you're very lucky in real estate. It comes very naturally to you. However, you have more placements that lend to very creative entertainment industry. So that's really where your gifts lie. The real estate's just kind of like an added little bonus, but with your Venus and Libra, I've seen this every single time I've ever seen a Venus and Libra placement. They always have a musical inclination. It's natural. It's from the time they were born. They just have natural rhythm. They can write music. If they try to pick up an instrument, they can learn any instrument. They are just incredibly naturally gifted at all things music. And so that is very prominent in your chart. You also have your house of career and public reputation, which you're known for, is actually ruled by the entertainment industry.
Wow.
And then I'm going to go down to the most important part that I'm going to say for you as it relates to your chart. And that's where your wounded healer is. Your wounded healer is actually in the house of that would rule entertainment, but it also rules passion, self-expression, creativity, originality. And this wounded healer talks about through you, through your experiences in life, tribulations, struggles. This looks very much connected to your early childhood or growing up. You're able to heal people through your creative or passion projects. So that would definitely be entertainment. By following those passions, and you heal others, but then in return, it actually heals you. So it's very transforming and healing. Now, to answer your question, though, the source that came up in your card. So it's very prominent in your chart. So the last 2 years, since about March of 2023, you've been experiencing a transformation in your first house of self and your seventh house of relationships. So this series of eclipses, it was Aries, Libra. It started in about March of 2023. And basically over the last 2 years, it's been transforming your life direction. You're taking your happiness seriously, like kind of like a new identity. So you've gone through lessons, and some of these have probably not been that easy, but lessons with people, mostly with relationships. And so you've gone through this period of examining your relationships, evaluating if they're still good, balanced relationships, and some of them might not have made the cut. And so through that, you're actually transforming yourself. And so we have the grand finale in that series this month on the 29th. So I think that's where the 11 comes from, like Mona mentioned, but it's also a new moon solar eclipse. On the 29th, it's in Aries. This falls in your partnerships, and this says that you are going to have the breakthrough, and it's going to be connected to new beginnings and collaborations. So this partnerships, any kind of collaboration, and these are long-term relationships that you might form in the next few weeks or next coming months. And they're going to continue to be very long-term, stable, balanced, beautiful relationships, because you've learned a lot of lessons in balancing relationships over the last couple of years. But this new moon solar eclipse is going to be the breakthrough that you need. And it's going to be opening doors for new beginnings, new energy as it relates to building these relationships, but not just the ability to build these new relationships. It's also the opportunities. So you're going to see a lot of opportunities come into you over the next 6 months. So I'd love to see that. And it's so based upon everything else that I see in your chart, this looks like the focus will be on something, your passion. So creativity, self-expression, passion projects, strongly connected to the entertainment industry.
Okay, wow. That's amazing. I love all the words you said. So
You know
cool.
what? I want to ask Kris something before we move on to the fabulous Tammie. I'm glancing at your chart, and I don't know if I'm going to put this under my camera for a second, because John's going to zoom in on this for just a second.
Okay.
And I want you to see that a lot of your placements are on the left of the chart.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I want Kris to, I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, I want Kris to explain. They're all on the left of the chart. So
I saw that.
that's a very intuitive aspect, is
It
it?
is. So when I was saying that she has some very powerful placements, that she's able to make a very strong presence, but it's also very soft. So when you have all your placements on that side of your chart, that means that you have a very impactful personality. You have a very strong personality, but you have that Venus that softens it. So you are very much like the iron fist and a velvet glove. You can get stuff done. And you have this presence that people respect about you. You have a very strong personality. So you don't let life just happen. You take it by the horns. And if you want something in life, you make it happen. So I also feel like that's why the master came up, because you have all of the the ingredients
All the
to
tools, yeah.
all the tools you need to create the life that you want, because you have this very just strong personality, just this personality of grit to get you through anything. And so it's a very, I mean, that's a very strong type of
I had
chart
to
to
ask
have.
about it.
I'm
'cause
glad you did.
it
I
was-
love it.
all right. All right, Tammie, take it away, girl.
It's a pleasure to be in service to you.
Oh,
I know
thank you.
nothing about these charts, but what comes through for me is that you came in this shift of energy where people's energy is being shifted in consciousness all around. And when you were a little girl, you knew that your music was going to be the one that was able to shift people. And you have a very unique voice. I haven't heard you sing, but I can already tell. And you gave that to yourself because you knew that it was going to be the draw to bring people in. And right now, if you limit yourself on your mindset about an age is a body. An age means absolutely nothing. I mean, I say I'm growing down. I'm never going to grow up. And I think I think if you focus your lyrics now on your experiences that you've had throughout your life, you are going to make a positive shift in your own healing ability to others, to draw them in, connect with the song, and start moving themselves into a higher awareness level. And I also see that maybe you would want to do some research on mantras and do some type of album that not only does a mantra, but hits younger, like probably 10 to about 16-year-olds, because they need to be shifted, and your personality can draw them in as well as your voice. And I know you said you write music, and I think you could come up with a different type of beat or tone that could actually get them more interested at this point than they have been interested in the past. Because when you look at mantra music that's been done, it's very formal, but you're not going to grab a teenager or a young child in formality. So I think you have a unique ability about you that you know is there, and you've known that has been there since you were little. And stop being afraid of it, and stop holding yourself back, because maybe the real estate is the financial part of it to keep you comfortable so that you have more confidence in going in the direction that you were always intended to go. And that is to heal people through your music.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because years ago, I want to say like maybe 5 years ago at my church, I started doing mantras, like creating a live mantra with the congregation after church if they wanted to stay. And I would have everybody give me a word, and we'd put it on a whiteboard and make up a little song or mantra around those thoughts. We'd pick one of the words or phrase as the title. It was really fun. I don't know what happened. I gave up on that. I didn't
Allow
stick
it,
with it.
allow it to come back. And the thing is you can take an experience from like maybe when you were 10 years old, make a mantra out of that, so you draw a younger population.
Yeah, I love kids, and I totally like relate to kids. So I love the thought of like gearing it towards kids.
Mhm.
And Mona, I wanted to tell you really quick before Tammie and I go on. When you said I believed in magic as a child, I literally, when I was like 7 years old, every night when I would go to bed, I would try to turn the light off with my mind.
Mhm.
Like, I think I was thinking of Bewitched back then.
Gosh, yeah.
But
Well,
I always wanted to like manipulate things.
well, okay. So it's really interesting because I want to tap on what Tammie just said, and then we're going to go back to Tammie because she's got more to say to you. But I wonder if you start on YouTube or on Instagram doing a little 1 minute mantra song that you do every day. So you put a whole bunch of empowering words into a fishbowl, and you pull out one of the words,
Oh, yeah.
and then you do a mantra like on the fly
Mm-hmm.
for that word. Okay.
I love that.
And that it's 1 minute, and that it's quiet, and you're helping people to retrain their thoughts toward what they want. So I'm going to turn it back over to Tammie, because
Okay.
when she said that, I was like, oh my
Love
God,
that.
yes. Okay, go ahead.
Tammie.
Yeah, I mean, you chose to be here at this time to help with the shift, and that you've been given this very unique. And I, it keeps coming. Your voice is so unique. It's so much more unique than a lot of people that are doing music at this point. And it's the vibration of your voice that draws and heals. And I'm gonna say again, because you've been aware of this as your journey your whole life. You've been much more aware than most of the people around you, and so you've kind of gone in that direction. But when you don't trust yourself to remember why you're here and what you're supposed to do, you get in your own way, and you have to stop getting out of your own way, because this is what you signed up for and it's going to happen. But I don't think you want it to happen where things fall apart to force you to make it happen. So, like I said, you have a unique healing ability, and fall into it now, because this is the time. This is when everybody's shifting. This is when your music can go to a top.
Okay.
Wow. All right. So
Yay.
Michelle.
I want to add something. Is that
Oh,
okay?
yeah, go, of course.
So when I mentioned your wounded healer being in your house of the passion and the creativity, it's also ruled by children. So I wanted to
Oh,
mention
good.
that too, because so that could definitely be you healing. It doesn't have to be exclusive, but it definitely would include children, because that's where our heart is.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Michelle, this is the point of the program where you give us a little feedback of how you enjoyed your experience here. I put that word in her head. How you enjoyed your experience here on our program. So tell us everything.
Well, this is amazing. I mean, right from the moment you said I believed in magic, like, and then everybody said really resonated with me. The jingle thing, I was kind of like, but then as I started thinking about it, I thought I would love to have a residency somewhere in town. And so maybe that's like a way in to do that. But it's funny because like getting prepared for this, I've been so busy in real estate. I'm slammed with work, and the beginning of the year is always a little bit slow in January,
Right.
but now everything's popping. All the work that I did for the last 2 months, and it's so crazy right now. I didn't have time to like really take time and focus on what I was doing with you guys. And I wrote down a million questions, like every question that came to my mind, I just wrote down in a notepad. And then when it said, your one question, I was like, oh no, it's supposed to be one. But my music, like I've always known, I'm a singer. I've been a professional singer all my life. I got into real estate, just 10 years ago, but I started singing. I knew I could sing when I was 8.
Right.
And so it's just, I keep buying into society's view of like, I need to make money. I got a kid in college, and but I feel like I need to trust more, like everything everybody said, like kind of lined up with, I just got to let go and trust and let stuff flow out, and I'm in the studio right now, actually recording a new song that's called Choose Peace. And I got my little peace sign up here. It's the
Oh.
battery's burned out, but it lights up. And
That's so Libra, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's so Libra? Having the lights burn out, or
the peace, a
Really?
song about peace.
Aw.
Yeah, because Libras are always balancing their scales.
Yeah, they're always balancing.
Oh,
They're the
so
lovers
cool.
of the zodiac, so
They're
they love peace and
the ultimate politicians.
the ultimate politician.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Do you know someone that's a musician
Oh,
that
yeah.
can actually help you write these jingles?
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I've been writing since I was about 18. I started writing with other musicians.
Okay.
I never did learn an instrument. I didn't ever have the patience. I knew I could sing, and I just always was into singing. And I have a guitar player living in my head, and I
Right.
write melodies. I write the lyrics and melodies. And then
Okay,
my
so you
friends-
actually know how to write the music too.
Yeah, I do.
Wow,
I do.
that's
I
great.
write melodies, but I need a partner, like you said, that was dead on, because I have to write with somebody else. I can sing my melody, and then it just goes to another level. They'll
Right.
put their input in and arrange it.
I keep getting that if you could get someone that's a good keyboard person, which
Yeah, I have
the
one.
keyboards these days can be any instrument, right? But
Oh,
if you
yeah.
could get someone that's a good keyboard artist and that you hum the tune to them, let them
Exactly.
build and layer the tune, and then you sing whatever the thing is you're going to sing.
Yeah.
It's like I could see you doing the Nevada song,
Oh, we like how to pronounce our
Nevada,
state names.
right? I mean, seriously, because most people come in, they don't know how to pronounce the pronunciation of
Yeah,
Nevada, not Nevada.
right. I was at the
Potato,
DMV
potato.
recently. I was at the DMV
Tammie's got something
recently,
to
and they
say.
have a lot of at the
No,
DMV, they have a lot of advertising around that, like trying to teach people who are coming into Vegas to get their new driver's license. I
Yep,
noticed that when I was there recently.
fun. Go ahead.
you
Sorry, Tammie.
no, don't be sorry. Your energy knows how to play instruments. You just have to allow yourself to do it. And especially like what comes through is the piano. If you just allowed it to come through you, I think you would shock yourself actually. But there's about 3 or 4 different instruments that your soul already knows how to play. You just don't trust it, so you don't do it. And
Is
you
one
can
of
cut
them a
yourself.
banjo?
A banjo,
Is
that, yeah,
one of them I don't know why, but when I was
banjo,
really young,
guitar,
I just love banjo. But
yeah,
yeah, you know
piano,
what?
Banjo on a keyboard.
When I was
banjo,
really little, my cousin had a piano and I would just sit for hours and play
yeah,
and make stuff up. And I overheard my aunt say to my mom, "You should get her a piano. She could be really good." And my
yeah.
mom was like, "No, we can't afford it." There's a whole poverty consciousness around me. That's something I still trying to break through. After all these years, I get caught up in that childhood poverty consciousness thing. But I just, as an adult, I sit down with my guitar. I don't have a piano right now. We moved and our house is smaller now, so I let it go. But I get bored. Like, I think it's because it doesn't happen fast enough for me. And then I just think I have my friend John, who I write with, and he's a great keyboard player and a great songwriter. So
All right.
Amazing.
let's go there.
Michelle, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for being
ladies.
part of our
Thank you.
program. You were an amazing guest.
Aw,
And please stay in touch with us and let us know what happens with you,
I will for
because
sure.
I do think that you're going to have some very, very powerful results by you actually deciding in your mind that this can and will happen. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Michelle.
you. Have a good day.
All right, you guys. Here we are, smack in the middle of season 3, doing amazing things for remarkable people that are our guests on our program. How do you be a guest on 3? www.THREE.Vegas. Go to the page that says how to be on 3, fill out the form, and then we will contact you when our next filming date is. And we'd love to see you on our program. I'd like to thank John Stiles with WWDBTV for allowing this to happen on this amazing venue, and all of his hard work to make it happen. Please follow WWDBTV on YouTube, so more programs like this can exist for your entertainment and pleasure and education. I want to thank Tammie Roitman for being a
Thank
part
you.
of the program.
I'm grateful.
Kris Gray, thank you for being here. And me, Mona Van Joseph. You can reach all of us through the website, www.3.Vegas. And we look forward to next time with you.
The cast members of Three are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. Three is presented to you for your entertainment.